With Snowden on the run from Hong Kong, Secretary of State John Kerry says there'll be consequences for countries that help him escape U.S. justice.
All appropriate countries have been notified with respect to the status, his status legally, and that is the appropriate step to take, to put them on notice that he is an indicted felon, he is an indicted individual, indicted with 3 felony counts, and that he is wanted by the legal process of the United States.
Ecuador is considering Snowden's asylum request. Foreign Minister Ricardo Patino said Snowden believes he would not receive a fair trial in the United States.
The man who intended to expose acts that affect the fundamental liberties of all people now finds himself persecuted by those very people who should offer an explanation to the governments and the citizens of the world regarding the claims made by Mr. Snowden.
But in an interview with VOA, Kerry said Snowden's put counterterrorism at risk.
He has put individuals at risk, and it may well be that lives will be lost in the United States because terrorists now have knowledge of something that they need to avoid that they didn't have knowledge of before he did this.
Snowden supporters say he's standing up for the right to privacy and exposing government misconduct in the collection of phone and internet records.
All governments, most governments do it. China does it, the U.S. is doing it. And so I think what he did was actually a very brave thing. He was willing to give up everything for that.
Kerry told VOA that Snowden is not a whistleblower like those who helped expose secret U.S. policies during the Vietnam War.
That he has betrayed his country because he took an oath. He swore that he would uphold the secrecy. He was given access to documents based on that trust, and he violated that trust. And he hasn't violated it in any way similar, nothing similar to Daniel Ellsberg or somebody who was revealing a government that was actually lying or that had a completely distorted view of something going on. This man just took real information and put it out there because he happens to believe something that is not, in fact, justified by the facts.
In an interview with the Guardian newspaper, Snowden said he wanted to help people decide for themselves if the surveillance is warranted.
I think that the public is owed an explanation of the motivations behind the people who make these disclosures that are outside of the democratic model.
But Kerry says the surveillance program protects the right to live free from terrorism. Scott Stearns, VOA News, New Delhi.
Because we're talking about Afghanistan, and he is the president of Afghanistan. So this is an Afghan-led process, and it is an Afghan-led process that will only